It's a pleasure for me to welcome you here to the Matignon Hotel
de vous passer le flambeau.
and to hand over the task to
Vous
you.
êtes appelé à diriger l'action du gouvernement.
You will take charge of the government's action. It's a huge honor.
C'est une charge assez lourde,
It's a fairly sizable task,
mais connaissant
but
votre intelligence,
I know your intelligence,
votre connaissance fine du pays,
your very great knowledge of this country,
attachement à l'État,
your true attachment to the state,
politique,
your political sense,
intellectuelle,
and your very strong mind. I have no doubt whatsoever that you
décisions qui sont
will be able to take the sometimes very difficult decisions. You will know to make the right ones. I'd like to say to you, I wish you, I don't really like to say, I don't really need to wish you courage. I know you have a great deal of it. Furthermore, if you didn't have courage, you wouldn't be here. But I do, very sincerely, wish you every success, a great deal of success. Success for you, of course, but most importantly, success for our country, which is overcoming, hasn't fully overcome, is overcoming a health crisis. You know full well all the aspects, the dangers and the measures that have been taken to counter these risks. Our country, which has weathered this crisis as others, very much needs an open mind and a firm hand. I believe you have that open mind and firm hand. If I may, Mr. Prime Minister, when I'm leaving this Hôtel de Matignon, if I might say a few words of thanks. Thank you, first of all, to the French President of the Republic, for over 3 years has placed his trust in me. I've been very fortunate to be able to work with him with a great deal of trust and very smooth relations. I can say that all my life, I will remember these as 3 truly exceptional years, with a wealth of activities. I'd also like to thank all the members of the government. The transfer of power taking place right now has been a quick transfer. Therefore, I've not been able to say to each and every member of the government just how much I respect them and like all of them. Together with them, we've sometimes gone through difficult times, often enjoyable times as well. At this time, I would like to say I'm very grateful to them, one and all. If they're watching me and if they're hearing me, I'm saying this to them. I'd also like to thank, you can well imagine, all the members of Parliament. First and foremost, of course, the parliamentarians that are members of the majority that have been at my side, supported me, have never wavered. They have been, and they will continue to be demanding. They were, and they will be determined to adhere to the commitments entered into in 2017 by the President of the Republic. Very sincerely, I would like to thank them and say to them, as long as I'm able to do so, I will assist them. I'd also like to use the opportunity to thank other members of Parliament that aren't part of the majority, that are in the opposition. A good democracy requires a good opposition. Opposition is necessary in a democracy, and the opposition is also demanding and determined. I'd like to thank the heads of caucuses and all the members of Parliament, opposition members, who've been critical and all the while probably enabled us to strive to do our best. I'd also like to thank all the persons I've worked with, that I've been able to work with. To be at the Matignon doesn't mean just to be in charge of the government. It also means to have an opportunity to meet with many people, meetings with people in various areas of power and influence, and also meetings with people who very much believe in their country, who are trying to bring forward their beliefs, their ideas, and their matters at hand. Sometimes they come to you impressed by the fact you're Prime Minister, but often, really, they want to talk to the person who's in the office of Prime Minister. These meetings, these wonderful meetings, I have many of these over the 3 years. I know you'll have many such meetings in the upcoming months and years. Sometimes I'm talking about elected officials I meet with, mayors of communities, as you are a mayor, as I will again become mayor.
sont parfois responsables.
Sometimes these are people in charge of trade unions, trade union officials, or sometimes regular fellow citizens, full-fledged citizens coming to defend their ideas. They want to share ideas with you. I can think of 1,000 different people I've met with from throughout the country. I'd especially greet the political forces of New Caledonia. You'll see, Mr. Prime Minister, at Matignon, we talk a lot about New Caledonia. The extraordinary process, which was started in New Caledonia well before my government, which has been continued by many prime ministers since Michel Rocard, has been a fascinating, difficult, complex process, still uncertain, and we must very much pay tribute to our citizens from that Pacific area that are endeavoring to find the right solutions for that amazing island we're so attached to. You'll understand very easily, Mr. Prime Minister, I'd like to thank also very sincerely everyone who supported me here at Matignon Même. Being Prime Minister means being in charge of a government's actions, serving the state. It also means you have support by team members, by a Prime Minister's office, remarkably well managed, by men and women who sometimes were selected by others, not by me. I didn't know all of them when I arrived here. Every single day, though, they demonstrated, constantly and always, and sometimes in difficult conditions, they demonstrated a sense of the state, public service, great attachment to our country, to France, which gives me absolute confidence in our ability to rise to the most difficult challenges. To all of those people, members of my office, members of the administration who keep Matignon going, I say to all state officials who very much believe in the meaning of the state, and I say to all of our fellow citizens who have a firm belief entrenched in them that civics isn't just something for other people, it's the cement that binds a great nation together. So sincere thanks to everyone, to them one and all, and my gratitude to them one and all. You, Mr. Prime Minister, henceforth will continue serving France. You've been serving France for quite some time already. It's a beautiful responsibility. I'm somewhat moved in saying this to you, but be good at it. As we say in my place, may the good winds bring you forward.
Bon, ça suffit maintenant.
Okay, that's good.